Ladies and gentlemen, aliens from 1,000 different worlds, Chairperson. A long time ago in a cinema not too far away, the world was changed for the better. Star Wars offered hope, a new hope, in a time when the world needed it. The 1970s witnessed the Watergate scandal, the end of the Vietnam War, and social injustice all around the world. But Star Wars offered something different. It offered hope. It showed us that the good guy can win, despite the odds. But it didn't stop there. The sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, introduced Yoda, whose words of wisdom struck a chord with people everywhere. Look at me, judge me by my size, do you? He taught us that it's not physical strength that matters, but what's inside a person that counts. He taught us to focus on the issues facing us now and keep our mind on where we are and what we're doing. Star Wars is more desirable, as Star Wars forces us to believe in ourselves. Our first speaker today defined the key words and introduced our team's argument. As the second speaker today, I will continue our argument by explaining how Lucas created his modern fairy tale for a new generation of moviegoers by taking us on The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. And our third speaker will summarise our debate and leave you in no doubt that Star Wars is better than Star Trek. Before I continue my team's argument, I would like to point out some flaws in the opposition's case. How many times do you go to the movies or put on your favourite television show and hope to be reminded of all the problems in the world? Not often. That's because film and television is an escape from the real world. The opposition has stated that Star Trek addressed the issues of our world and teaches us how to overcome these problems as a society. That's all well and good, but the last time I looked, there are still conflicts in society. There are still people mistreating others and being discriminatory towards them. Now we have more advanced technology that allows us to troll and bully people online. I don't go to the movies or put on a television show and wait in anticipation for a group of Star Trekkers to explain to me how to fix the problems of the world. I don't sit there and say, "Oh good, that episode will end world poverty," or "I'm glad they addressed the issue of the environment this week." No, I go to the movies and watch television to escape and be entertained. No science fiction franchise is going to solve the problems of the world. Only we can better ourselves and the life we lead. And that is why Star Wars is more desirable, as Star Wars forces us to believe in ourselves. Star Wars was the story of the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell wrote about, and that all cultures of the world are familiar with. Luke Skywalker's call to adventure in the original film, through the meeting of a mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, sent him on a journey through space, where he met allies and confronted enemies to overcome the impossible, the destruction of the Death Star. This popular narrative spoke to moviegoers in 1977 and continues to inspire today. The phrase, "May the Force be with you," has become part of our popular culture and united a planet. Star Wars is more desirable, as Star Wars forces us to believe in ourselves. But all this success did not come easy for Lucas. His script for Star Wars was rejected by all the major studios in Hollywood, and finally 20th Century Fox agreed to fund the space adventure. However, he faced production challenges, including a sandstorm that destroyed his sets in Tunisia, struggled with his crew on set, and continued to film despite the studio threatening to shut down the production. Lucas is an inspiration to us all. Like the hero Luke Skywalker, he overcame all the odds to create a legacy that continues today. But not only is Lucas an inspiration, but so too are his characters. Traditionally, princesses in fairy tales were damsels in distress, waiting for the knight to rescue her. However, Princess Leia was a role model for females everywhere during the feminist movement. She was not a damsel in distress, but a leader. She led the rebellion, was on the front line, and issued commands. When Star Trek finally gave a female command of a starship in Voyager, she got lost in space in the first episode and took her 7 seasons to return home. How is this a good role model for women? Star Wars is more desirable, as Star Wars forces us to believe in ourselves. In summary today, ladies and gentlemen, I have continued our team's argument by explaining how Star Wars is a retelling of Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey for a modern audience. It gave a generation that was riddled with political corruption and war hope that good things can triumph over evil. It taught us to believe in ourselves and be one with our surroundings to overcome any obstacle we face. Lucas lived this journey by overcoming all odds to produce the original film and influence the world with his modern fairy tale. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars is more desirable as it forces us to believe in ourselves. Thank you.